There's a strange moment that happens to a lot of people at night. You come home exhausted, your body hurts, your mind feels heavy, and even after working all day, there's still stress sitting quietly in your chest. Bills, responsibilities, deadlines. You look at your bank account and wonder how it's possible to work this hard and still feel financially stuck. And then you see someone online making more money than you while sitting in a coffee shop with a laptop. That's the part nobody explains. Because from childhood, most people were taught one idea over and over again. Work hard, stay honest, and eventually life will reward you. But the older you get, the stranger that advice starts to feel. Millions of hardworking people are still trapped in survival mode. They wake up early, sacrifice their time, ignore their health, and keep pushing forward, yet financially, nothing really changes. So the question is uncomfortable but important. What if hard work alone was never the thing that creates wealth? The truth is, hard work is valuable, but in the modern world, hard work without direction becomes a trap, and most people never realize they're inside it because society praises exhaustion. Being busy looks productive, looking stressed feels responsible. People wear burnout like a badge of honor, but effort and progress are not always the same thing. Imagine two people. One person works 12 hours a day carrying bricks under the hot sun. The second person spends 3 hours managing a business system online that makes money while he sleeps. The first person is clearly working harder physically, but the second person is building leverage. That word changes everything. Leverage is the reason some people escape financial pressure while others remain stuck for decades. Wealth is rarely created by effort alone. It's usually created by systems, assets, attention, skills, technology, and decisions that continue producing results even when the person stops working. Most hardworking people are trading time directly for money, and time is limited. There are only 24 hours in a day, which means eventually they hit a ceiling. No matter how disciplined they are, they cannot physically work forever. That's why many people feel trapped even after getting salary increases. Their expenses grow with their income, their energy disappears faster than their savings grow, and slowly life becomes an endless cycle of earning and recovering. This is where psychology enters the picture. A lot of people are not poor because they are lazy. They are poor because they were trained to think only about survival. When your brain is constantly worried about bills, debt, or stability, it stops thinking long term. It becomes reactive instead of strategic. Stress changes the way people make decisions. Short-term comfort starts feeling more important than long-term growth. That's why exhausted people often avoid learning new skills, starting side projects, or taking risks. Their brain is trying to conserve energy. Survival mode creates mental fog, and over time, that fog becomes a lifestyle. The system quietly rewards this. Schools teach people how to follow instructions, meet deadlines, and become dependable workers. But very few people are taught how money actually works. Nobody explains assets. Nobody explains leverage. Nobody explains attention. Nobody explains how wealthy people use systems to multiply income instead of constantly trading hours for it. And because of that, many hardworking people unknowingly spend their best years climbing ladders that were never designed to make them financially free. The modern economy also creates invisible pressure. Every day, people are surrounded by advertisements telling them to upgrade their lifestyle. Better phone, better car, better clothes, better apartment. Social media makes average people feel poor even when they're surviving better than most humans in history. And this creates another trap. People begin spending money to feel emotionally rewarded for the stress they experience. A difficult week turns into online shopping. A difficult month becomes a luxury purchase. Temporary pleasure becomes compensation for exhaustion. But the problem is, consumption rarely creates freedom. Ownership does. The wealthy often buy things that produce income. The average person buys things that produce bills. One builds financial breathing room. The other builds pressure. And none of this means hardworking people are foolish. In fact, many of them are incredibly disciplined. The real problem is that discipline without awareness can become dangerous. If someone spends 10 years moving in the wrong direction, working harder only increases the distance. That's why some people suddenly feel emotionally lost in their 30s and 40s. They did everything they were told to do. They worked hard, stayed loyal, avoided shortcuts, but deep down they realized they never stopped long enough to question the game itself. Because modern life has a strange way of keeping people too distracted to think clearly. Constant notifications, endless entertainment, stress, comparison, noise. Most people never get enough silence to examine their own lives honestly. And silence is powerful, because once a person sits quietly and truly observes their situation, uncomfortable patterns begin to appear. They notice they've been renting their time for years without building ownership. They notice they've been surviving instead of designing a future. They notice they've been chasing stability while ignoring freedom. That realization can change everything. The goal is not to stop working hard. The goal is to stop believing hard work alone is enough. Real financial growth usually happens when a person combines effort with leverage, when they build skills at scale, when they create systems, when they understand attention, when they invest, when they learn patience, when they stop trying to look rich and start trying to become free. Because freedom looks very different from luxury. Freedom is waking up without panic. Freedom is having time to think. Freedom is having options. Freedom is not feeling trapped by every unexpected expense. Freedom is knowing your survival does not completely depend on selling every hour of your life. And maybe that's the biggest lie people were never taught. The opposite of poverty is not luxury, it's control. The people who eventually escape financial struggle are not always the smartest. They are usually the people who finally understand the difference between working hard inside the system and learning how the system actually works.